Hey guys, welcome back to part 9 of this series where I share with you the process of making this umbrella dress. I apologize if I sound a little nasally in this video. I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted to get this video out to you guys because I've been working on this dress past weeks. So I really appreciate you guys' patience, and yeah, this is pretty much the end, so let's just jump right in. I started by pinning all 3 layers together and then sewing the center back seam. Then flipping the shell layer inside out and taking it to the iron so that way I can press it. I used a ruler so that way I can get a really crisp edge on the center back. Then I cut back the seam allowance of the foam on the center back and also the points of the foam as well, just so that way I'm not like sewing through really thick layers. The next step was to pin the hem and the neckline. I used clips just because it was easier because there were so many thick layers. But I took it to my sewing machine and then I sewed it about like literally less than 1/4 of an inch, just so that way I can like attach all 3 layers together. When sewing the neckline, I left a little bit of space in the back, just so that way I can create these boning channels, which you see I'm doing here. I sewed 2 parallel channels about 1 inch apart, just so that way I can attach the grommets later. This should allow me to easily slide boning into the channels, or at least so I thought. I was struggling so bad I had to bring out gloves because I was getting blisters. After that struggle was over, I moved on to making bias strips out of the shell fabric. I measured the longest part of the hem and the neckline just so that way I can be sure of how long I should cut them. And then I also made them about 1 inch in width, and I just cut 10 strips. These strips are going to come in handy later when I'm finishing the dress. Once the strips are cut, I took them to the iron and then pressed them in half. Now that the strips are prepped and pressed, I moved on to my sewing machine and began attaching the strips to the hem and the neckline. Anytime I reached a point, I back tacked and then just cut back the excess fabric. I made sure to do so at an angle so that way I could be sure that the points were very sharp. You guys, we're so close to the finish line. I am just cutting back that extra lip of fabric from the bias strips, just so that way I can get as close to the stitch line as possible, just because I didn't want it to look so thick. In the next step, these are some of the tools that I used so that way I can attach the grommets. I made this cardstock template from a previous dress that I made, and I'm just using the very edge of it to mark 1 inch from each grommet hole, and then using a soldering iron to burn a hole basically through all 3 layers. Once that was done, the last step is to attach the grommets. You guys, we made it! We are basically done. And now for the reveal that you guys have been patiently waiting for. Here she is! I love it. There are a few things I would have changed, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed making this dress. I learned a lot, and I hope you guys did too. The best thing about this was just being able to share with you guys and interacting, so let me know what you guys want to see next. Thanks for watching. Bye!